Mike's top 5 landing spots for Cap.
Woo!
Make it clear. Is this?
Should I go from like?
No, we're going from
least
the.
likely?
I have it set up so they can't see it, so we're going from the
Okay.
last to the first. So start from the
Okay,
very last.
okay,
But
yeah,
wait,
that's
wait,
good.
wait.
I wanna do
So
it
I
that
just
way.
want to make sure you know. You. This is your list, so let them know.
Right.
Is this the most realistic situations, or the teams that should be like the team like you would sign if you were the team?
This is this. I'm gonna put it this way. This is who should sign him based on their current situation. I think that really only contenders should sign him, and teams with mobile quarterbacks should sign him. That kind of thing.
So this is should not realist not.
Well, I mean, who knows? Who knows? What's realistic?
We don't. We have no idea what these teams.
No one has any idea.
I don't think John Elway would sign. That's all. That's my only commentary. I don't think John Elway would sign this guy.
I read somewhere that the there's Cowboys fans said that they would boycott the team if they signed him.
Yeah, he did that with Greg Hardy. Sure, whatever. I mean,
yeah, whatever.
That's probably
so. There was top 5, but I'm just gonna add a 6th team after tonight, and that's the Steelers for obvious reasons. So I'm just gonna add that as just like an honorable mention to the list at number 6.
In lieu of the meme, in lieu of what happened.
In lieu of the meme, yeah.
The quarterback just got hit by it with his own helmet after.
Yeah, he definitely has CTE for sure. Number 5, the Arizona Cardinals. So the reason why the Arizona Cardinals are on here is because, as you know, they have Kyler Murray as their quarterback, who is a mobile quarterback with a big arm. And I think that, Kaepernick can play similarly to Kyler Murray. He's also a little bit bigger. So, I mean, he's kind of like the opposite in terms of his physical stature. But I think in that air raid offense, it could work.
The backup for Kyler Murray is Brett Hundley, who I think is the guy who backed up Aaron Rodgers, very mobile.
UCLA Bruin,
but pretty bad for the NFL.
Right.
I mean, he's still I think he still deserves to be a backup, but he'll never be a starter. And Kaepernick could be a step above Brett Hundley.
Yeah, I think that Cliff Kingsbury could make it work with Cap. Like his attributes, you know what I mean? Like if he can make it work with Kyler, I think it's possible that they have similar traits. Number 4 on the list is the Seattle Seahawks. And I think that this would be great insurance for obviously Russell Wilson, who's the MVP. I think that Carroll, he's the type of coach that isn't afraid to do something, kind of controversial or outside the box. He's always has been someone that beats to his own drum. They took Josh Gordon in, you know what I mean? I think that they'd be willing to do that. I think Russell would welcome him in open arms. They were competitors atop the NFC West for a few years.
Top rivalry during that 3-year span.
So, yeah, like he knows what Cap is capable of, and I'm sure they're friends off the field. So I think he has a respect for him. He'd vouch for him.
And I hate Geno Smith. I think
although he did win the coin toss for them, which is also controversial. Did he say heads? Did he say tails? They said he's like undefeated on coin tosses in his career. He's always won.
Oh no, he definitely didn't say what he didn't say heads. Because I knew it live. I didn't care live because I'm like, it's a freaking coin toss, like whatever.
Right.
But I mean, when he won it, I didn't like it. But I was like, whatever. I was like, the game was so intense. I was like inside the television. Like, it was so intense for me. But I live I heard it. I didn't need to do research and look at memes that said it. Like I knew. I was like, oh, he didn't say that. It's like whatever. Refs are probably like, this is an intense game, guys. Refs are probably like going nuts. Like this is so intense.
The refs can't even get the coin toss right. Dude, that incompetent.
Yeah. But yeah, I just don't like Geno Smith. I just don't want to see him anymore. And
no one does.
I truly, even though Cap is a complete unknown, been out the league, I truly believe, I'm very confident that Cap is better than Geno Smith.
Agreed. Number 3 on the list, the Carolina Panthers. So the reason why I have this team here, number one, is because they have an inexperienced rookie quarterback in Kyle Allen. Now he's been playing, pretty good this season. He hasn't been lighting the league on fire. And I also think that Cap is, somewhat similar to Cam Newton in terms of how their playing style, their physical attributes. So it's not like a huge drop off for a team that has been playing, with Cam Newton for many years. So it's like I could see that, and also the factor that Eric, his former teammate on the Niners, Eric Reed, who was also infamous for taking a stand with Cap or kneeling actually with Cap. He could vouch for him. He's they're definitely like still talking, and he's probably going to advocate for him. So, I mean, they already signed Eric Reed, so it's not that big of a leap to sign Cap. You might as well sign both of them if you already signed one of them. So I think that he could be a veteran presence in the locker room, and they're still in it, right? They're still in the playoff hunt. They can still win, and then have someone who's more of a veteran in the locker room.
I would move Panthers down to 6th spot.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, this is all just it's Steelers. Yeah,
are more realistic.
They need him more. They need him more. Yeah, you're right.
They do. I think. Who's the offensive coordinator for the Panthers? LT's old coach. Oh, I know him. I just can't think of his name.
Norm? Is it Norm?
Yeah. I was just telling him I was telling someone about this the other day.
Let me look it up.
I was like, he was the offensive coordinator for the Vikings. They sucked, and he just quit in the middle of the season and said, "Look, I can't help you guys." And I just don't think he would want Kaepernick.
Okay, that's fair.
Just like not seeing it. Yeah, I don't see.
Number 2, Houston Texans. Now, I know this is probably unlikely. I don't know if they're still the same owner who made some controversial comments in the past about the inmates running the asylum, what have you. But if you think about it just from a football perspective, if Deshaun Watson goes down, like Cap would be the perfect person to put in his place, I think, that could run the offense similarly to Deshaun Watson. Obviously, he's not as talented, but the type of skills that Deshaun Watson has is similar to what Cap had in his prime, I would say.
Athletically, I've always thought this. They remind me that, like, just like body type and how fast they are remind me of each other. Of course, Deshaun Watson's just amazing. But Deshaun Watson's backup right now is A.J. McCarron, who he had a little bit of hype. He seemed like a great backup to Andy Dalton, but once he got his chance, I think we all saw that he was a failure. And so, God, if someone were to have Deshaun Watson, that team's like beyond done. It's like run, be scared. It's like what we saw what happened today. The game. It's like Mason. It's going to be like that. And so definitely, I think Cap's better than McCarron.
Definitely. And the number 1 team I have here is the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the reason why this makes sense is because, I mean, they have Lamar Jackson.
Reasons. Yeah, multiple
reasons. It's multiple reasons. First of all, mobile quarterback, big arm like Lamar. That's one playing style similar. Another layer to this is John Harbaugh, brother of Jim Harbaugh. So I know he played against him in the Super Bowl. They know what he's capable of. They know how dangerous Kaepernick can be, how dynamic he can be. And then also he has the same quarterback coach, Greg Roman. So he's very familiar with that coach. So it's pretty seamless of a transition, I think. Plugging Cap in, if anything were to happen to Lamar, he would maybe keep him in playoff contention.
Yeah, and this is a perfect fit. This is a great number 1 choice. Those coaches are amazing. And look, I don't know what Cap's got left. I don't know if he's going to be good or not. I definitely think he's better than a lot of these backups that we already went over a lot just right now in this segment. But one thing that we can throw out the excuse book when and if he gets on the Ravens is all the stuff that went on with Cap. People seem to forget, like, he got hurt and he had some coaches. I mean, no one's saying that Chip Kelly deserves another shot in the NFL. That was his last coach. And it kind of worked a little bit. They had a couple plays, but we all know Chip Kelly was a complete failure. Mike actually won, I think, his fantasy Super Bowl because I told him to start Kaepernick.
Yeah, against the Rams.
With the Chip Kelly offense, and he got mad. He sent me an angry text. He said LOL at the end, so he's like, don't get too mad. But he was mad. He's like, dude, I'm gonna lose because you told me to start Cap. What the hell are you doing? I have a good quarterback. I could have started. And then he was like, I'm gonna win anyway. And then Cap just went off and then outscored all he was like QB1 or QB2 that week. Yeah. And he scored like 2 rushing touchdowns and beasted. And Mike won. And then on top of that, he started the right quarterback.
That was a tense moment for our friendship for sure.
You were pissed for like about 15 minutes there, but it was like whatever. I was like, crap! I can't believe I told him to start Kaepernick.
I can't believe I listened. Like that's crazy that I listened to that.
It worked though, dude. It worked. He balled out.
Champion. 1 of 6 championships was because of Cap.
And so that's one excuse that we can just throw out the window because he's gonna have a coach. Look, Lamar Jackson was lost and sucked in training camp when he was a rookie. He didn't know what to do. He couldn't throw the ball. And that's okay because we knew drafting him was a risk. He was a 32nd overall drafted. I liked him a lot as a draft pick. I thought it was a bold, great move, and it just really worked out. But what they did, man, these coaches, they were amazing. Greg Roman, I mean, we saw it against the page. Who cares what I say? We saw it against results. We saw it against the Patriots. Wow. They're like, okay, we're going big. You're going to keep the DBs off the field. We'll go big, 3 tight ends or 3 running backs, and we'll throw the ball. No corners in the game. We'll go for it. And who was Nick Boyle? Nick Boyle was like one of the stars of that game. So with that type of, I mean, I wish more coaches would do stuff like that. Like, hey, let's be smart. Like, we don't have to run a certain system. Like, let's do what makes our quarterback the most successful. And even Cliff Kingsbury's doing that a little bit with Kyle. You notice, look at the difference in the on the Cardinals, man, from last year. Can you believe that's the same team from last year? Just a few months later, like, look at how different this team is. Like, it's so different. And same thing with the Ravens. Do you guys remember a time when Joe Flacco was throwing balls for the Ravens, losing games for the Ravens? That's so like ancient. That's the same team. How is that even possible? Like, I can't believe that's the same team. It's not. This team, Nick Boyle's catching touchdowns against the Patriots from Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's doing a option, keeping it, running in for a touchdown. And
this might sound crazy now. This might sound crazy now, but Cap might have, he kind of paved the way for these quarterbacks now, these mobile dual threat quarterbacks. I saw a post on, on Facebook today that Eric Reed said that Cap was Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson. And he's kind of right. If you look at his early career, like Cap, was a phenom when he had that huge game against the Packers. Like, no one's done that since.